So humans build these grand physical monuments to make sure we don't forget tragedies.
Right, like the 9/11 memorial in Manhattan, you've got the stone and the water honoring the victims.
Exactly. It's static, it's permanent. But today we're welcoming you to a special Easter 2026 deep dive that explores a very different kind of memorial.
Yeah, an eternal memory built not out of stone, but, out of bread, wine, and a really radical ancient claim.
Right. Today we're taking you through the deep historical and theological layers of the crucifixion and resurrection.
Yeah.
And what's wild is just how this memorial was introduced.
It is wild. I mean, for over a millennium, the absolute center of Jewish identity was the Passover meal, right?
Anchored by the blood of a literal lamb.
Exactly. It was the physical symbol of Israel escaping slavery and death in Egypt. So this was the Old Covenant, a really strict sacred agreement based on animal sacrifice.
Right, and Jesus had celebrated this exact traditional meal with his disciples for 2 years. Like, he followed the rules.
He did, yeah.
But then in his third year, he just completely rewrites the script.
Yeah.
He takes the core element of the ritual, the lamb, and replaces it with himself.
Yeah, by declaring the bread and wine are his own body and blood, he's claiming to be the ultimate Lamb of God.
Which is
massive. He's establishing a new covenant. Instead of an animal's blood temporarily covering people from political slavery, he's offering his own blood to permanently sever their spiritual slavery to sin.
I mean, imagine someone taking your country's oldest, most sacred holiday like the 4th of July or Bastille Day.
Yeah.
And suddenly declaring, hey, from now on, this is actually about me. It's a staggering historical pivot.
It's an astronomical claim, but, making that declaration at a dinner table is one thing, paying for it is another.
Right.
Just hours later, the symbolic lamb of the dinner table becomes the literal sacrifice on a Roman cross, specifically in those 6 hours between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Which brings us to that really agonizing shift in his final words on the cross. Because initially he prays using the intimate word Father, but right around noon, that language changes entirely. He cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me?"
And that shift, that's the exact moment he's bearing the sins of the world. Because God is intrinsically holy, there has to be a separation from sin.
So it's not just physical pain.
No, not at all. He is experiencing total spiritual isolation. It's basically the underlying mechanism of the new covenant actually taking effect.
But hold on, I need to push back here.
Yeah.
Because if his followers thought he was a political messiah meant to overthrow Rome,
which they definitely did.
Right, so watching him die must have felt like the ultimate failure. Just moments later, he says, "It is finished."
Yeah.
How could they possibly reconcile "it is finished" with what looked like total defeat? I mean, a guy suffocating on a Roman cross doesn't exactly scream mission accomplished.
Oh, to them, it absolutely looked like a failed rebellion. But physiologically and theologically, it was a triumph.
How so?
Look at the mechanics of what happens next. He dies right before the 6 p.m. Sabbath. Normally, the Romans would break the legs of crucifixion victims to speed up the execution.
Because you die by asphyxiation, right? Like you have to push up to breathe.
Precisely. If you can't push up, you die in minutes.
So by finding him already dead, the Romans didn't need to break his legs.
Exactly. And here is why that matters. Going all the way back to that original escape from Egypt, strict laws dictated that the Passover lamb could not have any broken bones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so by dying when he did, perfectly intact, his death aligns completely with the ancient requirements of the Passover lamb. The theology and the physical reality just lock together.
So for the people standing there watching their political hopes collapse, they had absolutely no idea they were witnessing a theological victory.
None. They were forced to just sit in that apparent defeat. The resurrection is the event that recontextualized everything for them.
It turned a devastating failure into the foundation of a global faith.
Exactly. It shifted the whole narrative from just an inherited family tradition to an active, living belief system. It forced them to realize their entire paradigm was simply too small.
Which brings us back to those physical monuments, right? Stone memorials remind us of what was lost. But this bread and wine memorial was designed to remind you of something that conquered death itself.
It's incredible, and it leaves you with something quite profound to consider, honestly.
Yeah.
Jesus' closest friends spent 3 whole years completely misunderstanding his true mission.
Just because they expected a political conqueror.
Right. What massive truths in your own life might you be entirely blind to simply because you're viewing them through the wrong expectations?